Alright, so today we're going to be changing out this washing machine box with the valves attached. I recently took this washing machine out to redo the room here, and it turns out that one of these valves is just completely stupid and won't shut off because it's old. So I'm going to replace the whole thing, and hopefully it won't have any problems. So I just shut them off, and even already I'm seeing a little leakage just by turning this thing, because these things are over 20 years old and they're just worn out, and they just want to leak at every seam. This one, I don't even think I can screw this one off without a lot of problems, so I'm just gonna unscrew it from the washing machine itself. I got new hoses too, just because these are over 12 years old, and I don't trust them. Alright, here's the main shut off. Let's talk about righty tighty. Somebody stomping upstairs like as if they're a 10-year-old maniac. Alright, that's turned off. Let's go release the pressure in the pipes. Just go over here to the nearest bathroom. Try to let all the water out of the pipes. Alright, let's go ahead. Go to the kitchen, do the same thing. Nothing. Good. Alright. Alright, so even though I shut off the water and I even shut off the main, this hot water supply still wants to drip for some reason, pretty consistently. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why it would continue to drip when when the main line is off. But I got a lot of water on the floor, but that's okay now because I recently redid these floors and waterproofed the seam. Made the whole laundry room pretty much waterproof. So I can take a little water and just clean it up without worrying about it seeping into bad places and causing problems. So here's the problem I just ran into. It might change my plans. I got ready for everything in this project except for changing the drain. I'm ready to change these pipes and these valves, but I'm not ready to change this PVC drain, meaning I don't have the PVC coupler, I don't have anything to cut the PVC very well with, and I don't have the PVC glue. That's for the drain, but I have everything I need for the pipes. So one thing I can do is, instead of replacing this box, I can just replace the valves. Hopefully, where are the valves? So theoretically, I can just stick that valve right in a hole there, and I'll be good to go. And this is an ugly old box, but it's just a piece of plastic. It really has nothing to do with anything else. So maybe I can just clean up the box a little bit and just replace the valves. Otherwise, this is going to take me another day because I don't really have time to go to the store and get the other stuff that I need, and I don't want to. So I'm not going to do that. Alright, so this is a piece of PEX, and this is what we're going to be replacing the copper with. We're going to connect the copper to the PEX and then put the new valves in. And before I cut the pipes, I bought these shark bite caps. I shut the water off, but just in case there's any kind of leakage, you got these little caps that you can cap right on there. And because they're shark bite, theoretically, they're not supposed to come off. It's supposed to be a watertight seal. And this little tool costs a couple dollars. Should be able to get it off. Pops right off like that. So if any water's coming out, I got these caps. Otherwise, we'll just keep rolling from there. Alright, so that was a little bit too exciting right there. So, as you see, I ended up using the cap because the water, it wasn't flowing, but it was still present. So, we got the cap on there. The other problem you might have saw is that even this compact tool didn't have enough clearance to go around the pipe. But eventually, with a lot of force, I was able to bend the pipe back and forth to get it around enough so that I could cut it. I don't think it's the best cut in the world, so let's see if we can get this thing out. Yeah, so there we go. Not a great cut. Okay, so this turned out to be a pretty big problem. Luckily, I bought these caps. I wasn't even sure if I needed to buy them, but I bought them just in case. So I bought these caps, and what the problem is I was able to cut it with this very haphazardly, so it's not a clean cut. And I think they do make a different kind of tool that can fit in this space and give me a cleaner cut. So I'm gonna have to go get that tool because I cannot use the shark bite valves without a perfect cut on these things, or the shark bite connections that I have for these. So far these shark bite caps are holding pretty well. I already turned the main line back on and they seem to not be leaking. They have some moisture from when I opened them, so I'll clean that off and keep an eye on any potential leaks. But I'm gonna have to go buy that tool and we'll see if I can finish this tomorrow. Alright, so last night I had to leave to go to work, and I had to leave the situation in a bad place. I wasn't happy about it because we were officially not cooking with gas. And that makes me a little upset because I prefer to always be cooking with gas, even though it doesn't always work out for me. So what had happened was, when I did the cuts, my cutter didn't fit, as you might have seen. And I had to go get a new cutter. In the meantime, I cut off what I could, but it was a terrible cut. It was all jagged and ugly, which would not be conducive to having a leak-proof system. So not only are we not cooking with gas, I think we're cooking with something more like recycled dookie, like the astronauts cook with. So I do not want to stay in this situation much longer because I don't think I want to cook like the astronauts with the recycled dookie. So that's where we are, and I need to get back to cooking with gas. So I went to the Home Depot and I bought a different kind of cutting tool, which will hopefully fit in the space that it's supposed to fit in, and we can get back to cooking with gas. But right now it's going to be cooking with recycled dookie like the astronauts. Alright, here we go. Alright, it's a new day, and I've done a little bit of work since I came here. The only thing I've done off camera is I retrofitted these holes. I had to cut them out with a little hacksaw blade so that these new valves will sink in there, and they kind of sit okay. And they got enough clearance underneath here. Focus. Got enough clearance that I should be able to crimp the pecs onto there later on. So far, we're doing okay, considering all the problems we had yesterday. Still capped off, no leaks, so that's good. So I need to turn off the main line again and uncap that, and we'll get to work. Alright, so I think I'm going to start by getting a piece of PEX ready with the new shark bite adapters for each hot and cold. But anyway, yeah, the depth gauge. I need to make sure that the shark bite is on as far as it's supposed to be on, which is that far. Boom. Okay, that's good for that. Now it's oh yeah, that went on a little bit more. It's a good thing I considered that problem. So those are gonna connect that way. So I need to take these off, and then I need to cut with my new tool that will hopefully fit in the space a lot better than the other pipe cutter. So let me unpackage this and we'll get going. I just put it on the cutoff that we did. I'm doing a sample. It's got an arrow on the top telling me which way to rotate. Oh, I think we're already there. Cool. So I just took off this really rough edge and made a much better edge, which is what we need to do with that one. Then I should be able to my thingy. So take these off. One. That's two. Just back in there. I want to make sure, I had to look back at my pictures and make sure I got hot and cold in the right set. So that worked. They got my little things up. Alright. So the good news is now we are officially back to cooking with gas. Now I was really upset for a while there because we weren't cooking with gas, but now we're cooking with gas. Crimp cap, crimping sleeve. Still filming? Sure am. The sleeve on each one of these. Okay. too. I think that's it. Let's turn the water on, I guess, and see if it squirts out of this. This is open, open, closed, closed. Let's leave them closed and turn the water on. Okay, got the water on. Everything's looking pretty good. So I am going to probably going to try to put this back on, but I want to wait a few days, keep an eye on these adapters to make sure everything stays like it's supposed to, no leaks and all that fun stuff. So if there's no leaks after a few days, I'll make a separate video on how to replace drywall.